and
as long as we
OCR
distribute
it.
the other things
Well, if
to
you can
others,
get
I
it
don't-
into my
type
hands,
it in.
we have an OCR at work that's actually reasonably
Is
complicated.
it typed or is it a lot of it is handwritten?
You're kidding.
A lot of it is
There we go.
handwritten,
Ah,
where
okay.
managers have
If,
added to it.
Yeah, that's what I say.
if you can get it to me, I can at least get a preliminary scan and then we can
No, but
start.
if there's handwritten notes and stuff on there.
The OCR at work will try and suck text out of a drawing,
It's not organized.
so
okay.
it's pretty effective.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're volunteering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so if you can get the Bible into my hands,
okay,
I can.
because that would save somebody a
Well,
tremendous
Jackie, since
amount.
I need to get a copy of it too, why don't I arrange to get it, and since I
should
have
be
a scanner,
Yeah, we should have. at
Does
least
your
a couple
scan-
copies of
does your
it.
scanner have a
Should be
powerful
in the
OCR on it?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So the ambition for looking at the Bible is to
Actually,
figure out
I have
what's.
since I'm a typesetter, I have a professional. I have the
Okay.
best OCR.
Well,
Well, I'm a typesetter too.
Good for you.
So the
Do you-
purpose.
CompuGraphic, I was using HTML before it was HTML.
Ah.
yes,
So
you
there.
know.
We'll have to talk about that.
Oh no, this is back when it was
Please,
CompuGraphic.
Matt.
Yeah. So I want to clarify the purpose of looking at the Bible is to compile the services we're currently getting or have gotten in the past
And it looks like
evaluate
I'm
them.
gonna be on that group, and
Okay.
Jackie's gonna be in that
Right.
group. And
I should be.
I'm assuming Scott will be working in this
Yeah,
other.
I'll do the other side, yeah.
And
Well, you guys following it work?
maybe,
Yep. Oh, but
who
thank
else
you.
wants to work with Scott on just seeking out either existing bids from professional managers or templates? So Nassim will work with Scott, great.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've already got some stuff that I can chuck into the pot. If you can, it would be good to have a central location for documents as well.
Right.
Google does have, I don't think we've actually officially joined Google Plus yet, but it might be worth going ahead and adding
Yeah.
that piece to our Google group
Yeah,
thingy.
I've
Yeah, I
used
just
Google
put-
Docs, but I've only used it in the academic setting, so I don't.
Yeah, it works.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad, yeah.
Good
That's
for
good.
sharing.
Yeah,
Well-
I can help Somerset Services too.
Could you with that?
Yeah.
'Cause, I might just, you might not, look, I will probably call you with questions, because as I go through the Bible, there are gonna be things that I won't understand, and you might know. But I also
Put
want
Dan-
to,
have the
put
Bible,
Dan
I'll
on
get
put-
to it.
On the website?
Dan is
Put-
gonna be, yeah.
put Dan there, and also put in brackets Barney.
Would Cheryl maybe help with that?
Cheryl could be as well. I'll
Yeah,
have to
could be.
ask her if she's willing, but put her in parentheses, and I'll talk to her. Cheryl, yeah.
All these
Sure.
Well,
different.
because Cheryl has,
Sharon is the one that has the
she's
most
been here the
knowledge of
longest.
all of us.
Yeah.
She knows a lot of history.
She does know a lot. So, and what I'm gonna do is
Oh,
poll the board to see if there's anyone, Olivia, do you wanna be on any of these?
No,
Another
I
time?
can't.
We have lots of
That's
other
okay,
tasks
that's okay.
too.
So, I'm gonna poll the board for anyone else who's willing to work on that.
So this seems like an awful lot of people on this side.
And
That's an awful lot
Now,
of
that's
work.
because I
Yeah.
might not.
That's probably
be
because that's the
able
most
to-
important, where we're literally
Yeah.
compiling from what we know about what we're actually doing, what we want.
Yeah, and.
This other is to give us a structure and an idea of what
yeah,
other
so
people
it-
are
it
offering,
looks
right?
proportionally right to me.
Okay.
Because there's just a tremendous amount of work to understanding the Bible and trying to merge that with the job descriptions and
I
all that
think
stuff.
you'd be disappointed what you find in the Bible. I
Well-
don't know what you're looking
Well,
for.
I mean, if it's this big, there's a lot of information in there, and somebody has to throw out probably 80% of it, that's
Some
right,
of
but
that
somebody has to
information-
actually look at it.
Just from what she said, it might be just the specs of the boilers and things like that.
which
Yeah.
is, I mean,
But
that's,
still,
yeah,
and
that's,
It is.
the other thing is,
It
what you're
shows
gonna end
where
up with
things
it.
are located, where
Yeah.
what
What you're gonna end up
are.
with at the end of that maybe is a digested form of the Bible that the maintenance, whoever takes over for Barney, is gonna have to have something like that.
Right.
And hopefully Barney will be around to ease the transition, but there's gonna be things that person's gonna have to go to the Bible for, and it all has to be in there.
Yeah.
Not half of it in the Bible, half of it in people's heads.
Now, one of the things that we also ought to decide tonight as best we can is who's gonna be on the subcommittee that meets when we're trying to compile this information and prepare it to present to the board.
well,
And
I've done, at the risk of overcommitting myself, I've done document prep, so,
Okay, good.
I have some experience with that.
I'd like to, so Matt, will you be on that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Happy to.
Olivia?
I bet you.
Can do.
I bet you Jenny would. be
I will
maybe.
ask Jen, I'll ask every, we'll get, so just so we know, I'm on that, obviously, Olivia's not, she can't, so she's off. I will talk to everybody else and I will amplify that subcommittee, because I'd like to get at least a couple board members involved, so that they're aware of what we were doing, so that, you know, we don't have so we have enough redundancy internally with the board externally, that we don't have to explain everything, and we'll have more than one voice or two explaining things when we get to that stage. Good. So, so as far as I'm concerned, the official subcommittee at this point consists of Matt and me and the 3 members of the informal homeowners group, Scott, Nassim, and Jackie. And I'm going to let everyone on the board know that that's the current.
Yeah, they might.
You're not on it?
They might want to be in
I
it.
can't.
Well, I think they might. You know, I know Jen wants to be.
My
She
job
just
is
isn't
not
here.
as
I think
sad.
Lynn.
It's different days. So
I
can't
really
commit to
want
something
Lynn to
like
be on this because
Yeah.
Lynn is one of those who's worried about this option, and I want her to see the numbers.
Like me,
I
her
think-
and I, both were.
I know. And look, I want people who are not so sure that's a good idea, because they tend to bring a different eye to the same facts.
So Lynn's gonna be here?
Lynn is, well, Lynn's coming back, but she's gone for a week, so we can't expect much help from her. Remember, this subcommittee is going through, this is just the template phase. After that, we're gonna have to seek bids, review bids, and we're gonna need a lot of, and particularly when it comes to reviewing bids and checking on, because this is what ran aground when I did this with a subcommittee 6 years ago. With people in subcommittee left, Andrew, the former president, and John Calusa, remember? And Sarah, remember? I was on that little committee. Well, Sarah's still around, she owns that place next to me, they're renovating it. But in any case, where that project ran down was when we were trying to get word back from people who lived in these communities about the quality of the services they were receiving. And we didn't get enough, I think, and what we did get back wasn't encouraging. And so that was one of the reasons that we stopped.
Did you contact the board members or just residents at those meetings?
I think it was too helter-skelter, it wasn't a well-organized plan. So we didn't actually say, okay, they gave us a decent bid, you go and talk to at least a third of their board members, or get them on the phone and ask them about the services they've, and whether they're happy. And it's amazing what you can learn if you can get board members. I have a friend who's on a board right north of us here, and they're just dropping property management company, which I have the name of, and we won't be going there because they took funds that belonged to the HOA and transferred them temporarily to cover some other problem they had, and that is fraud. Okay, so they're dumping, you know, so I mean, and unfortunately, too many of the stories we got in family were like that story. And we weren't getting the stories from people who were
It
happy.
was like comparing apples to apples. It was
was very
also
hard.
that we were actually doing better.
Okay, I'm gonna jump the gun here a little bit. This is something that's pretty high on my list. How many people don't live here, are owners but not residents?
How many people
don't
in
know.
this
In
room?
this room?
Oh, in this room?
Oh,
Oh.
How many people on the board are in that
Owners,
same category?
Let's see.
Dan,
Barney wasn't anymore.
Not on the
So
board.
Dan, I think maybe it's just Dan now.
this is Dan.
It's just Dan.
Andy was, but
So
Andy's
even
gone.
Andy
though
was, yeah.
we are a majority, according to Barney,
Yeah.
we are not well represented here.
Right.
So that's gonna be an issue for me, you know, throughout this whole process, that I
Right.
kinda have to speak for.
And I would encourage you to reach out to the non-resident owners that are on the list too, because
Right,
with Dina and.
Because there's no reason that we can't let them in on, like you were gonna give them documents when they were interested, and if they wanna give us input, as long as you guys would compile it so that I don't have to try to read through all these emails all the time, it's just too much for me.
Well, and yeah, one of the things I've been pondering that I haven't had time to deal with is coming up with a better interface. Matt, have you dealt with any blog formats in your communications thing? Because there are some things that we could do to improve the user interface that I just haven't had the time to deal with.
User
Since I have,
interface for the
unfortunately,
HOA.
For the online conversations.
Okay.
You guys, unfortunately, one of my oldest and best friends, his wife is going to be subject to a surprise birthday party. I need to be there.
Well, you better
I
hustle
gotta
then.
go get the car.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to talk to Barney on Thursday when I have time, explain what we want, what I want from him, and get a copy of the Bible, which I will scan and try to get into a digital format for you. And I'll contact other members of this group.
Yeah, if it's digital, you can mail me a copy too.
It's
I think
actually, my
helpful.
prediction
Sure.
is it's gonna be too big to mail, or we're gonna have to chop it up, but that's a data issue.
Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
Yeah.
gonna, are you gonna steer the compilation of Remington Post Services group? Because that's right now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
enough people that it kinda needs
I'll
to
be the
heard.
sort of,
Okay.
the
Awesome.
factotum for the time being.
Cool.
Right.
The
Mostly
toter of
work,
facts.
Not leadership. But
It's a matter of it.
okay, thanks, guys.
Thank
That
you.
was a good start.
All right.
I have a couple of things I put together too, if you guys
Mhm.
are willing to hang out for a few more
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
So I sent that email to everybody, just suggesting a few basic ground rules. Most of that is because everybody from everywhere has been complaining, like, we're not doing this in a good way, or people are being mean to each other, or whatever. I think it's just really going to be smart for us to clear the air and operate in a way that's a little more respectful, thoughtful, listening rather than speaking. So I sent out the rules already. Jackie was great and sent me an additional one. I have right here, be respectful, listen carefully. By the way, I have a couple of these.
yeah, I have the email.
Okay,
I
awesome.
read
Well, this is
We all read it.
some more stuff too.
No, I have not.
So yeah, take a look.
Is it, did you send that out via email?
Nope. This is just my notes for tonight because I just wasn't sure how it was all going to go down. So yeah, I have be respectful, listen carefully, give the benefit of the doubt wherever possible. The people who show up are the right people. This is an
I love that one.
This
That's
is a
really
very
good.
important concept to me.
Yeah,
We accept people that show up as the people who are most interested
That's
and most
right.
capable of solving the issues that we're dealing with.
that's right.
I thought Jackie's comment challenged facts and opinions, but not personal character. Right? Let's whatever it is, it's on the table. Deal with what's on the table, not who's in the chairs. And then the last thing is we have to decide. And it seems like this decision maybe kind of got made already. But what what happens in the room stays in the room.
I'm
or
not
do we wanna
gonna-
keep it open.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with that, because, the ongoing
Who said
issue
that?
is that.
I'm asking. This is a
Oh.
decision we need to make about
Yeah.
how.
Yeah,
We
no, I
want
think
to
I think we
protect
should
our-
I think we should be
Yeah,
as
it's-
open as possible.
Yeah,
Too
and-
bad Jason's not here for this, because he's really the one that
Would have
He-
wanted to protect the discussion.
he has been on my case. That's one of his pet peeves on me, is that anything that comes in one ear goes right back out again. Because I don't think there should be secrets on any of this stuff.
Sure.
You need to protect bids and things like that when
Right.
we get to the nitty gritty.
Right.
But in terms of framework of the committee, the
And I
things
think-
that were plus and minus and all that.
One of the reasons why this, I mean, in addition to just the scale and the time frame, and one of the reasons why this assessment was so fraught was because people couldn't see it coming. There was no
Yeah.
way to know until it landed in your mailbox. And if the board had been more forthcoming with communication and more open, and that's one of the reasons why I've been recording these meetings. Is as soon as I get my act together, I'm going to get those up onto YouTube in a private account so that we can access it, but it won't be out there flapping in the
Actually,
net.
Jackie,
but-
they acted according to the bylaws.
Um,
Which is you have to give 30 days notice.
Well,
which
yeah.
I don't agree with, but it is in the
Well, but I
bylaws,
mean,
and
the
they
fact that
That's a
we-
minimum, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes.
fact that we didn't even hear any inklings of
I'll tell
discussion.
you what, the board didn't hear much about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you just-
But yeah, I
Okay,
think
now we gotta make the decisions.
yeah, the more we can have more information. I mean, there's going to be static and there's going to be noise in the system, and we've been dealing with that, which is one of the reasons why I want to make sure that we have a moderated online conversation, is that we can suppress a lot of the ill feeling just at the get-go. I mean, that's another thing that happened back in 2009 was the email group blew up because nobody was moderating. And I do have some
Well,
experience with
Dustin did it, didn't he? He moved.
well, he
Remember
set it
you-
up. He wasn't moderating. He
Who
said
did it?
nobody was nobody was
Not
Not
moderating.
officially
Like
moderating.
everyone.
No, it
It's
wasn't-
not really. Yeah,
yeah, no,
nobody
it-
had a hand on
Yeah,
keeping bad
And-
stuff out of the list.
yeah, and so so at some point I want to meet with you and actually talk a little bit. Are you net savvy at all?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe you can help me put together the resources. I've got a couple of ideas, but just in terms of getting in there under the hood, I haven't had the time to deal with that. And if I'm going to be doing all this data stuff, then it's something.
This is in terms of finding ways to share share these
talking
things?
to each other, sharing information,
Yeah, I
making.
mean, the mailing list works fine, I think, for what it does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty